Hi everyone, welcome to Talk Reality. Talk Reality is brought to you by Spotlight TV Africa. My name is Diamond Soporochi, and with me here in the studio is Mocha Gabriel Dike, as I popularly call him, Dike1. Dike1 here in the studio is a music minister, a sound music minister. We're going to know more about him by the time we get down to the interview, and it's a pleasure having you here in the studio.
Thank you, the pleasure is all mine.
My guy,
Thanks, boss. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Well, without further ado, please, can we know you?
Okay, hi everyone. Before I introduce myself, this looks like, to be honest, not spotlight. It's like to be.
No. The title of the show is Talk Reality. You have to say it.
So that's to be honest, Talk Reality show,
okay,
right?
That's what you call it, man. But then,
okay.
Talk Reality.
So my name remains Mocha Gabriel Dike, right? I am a music minister and I'm an event planner, right, and also a project manager. So that's actually what I do basically.
Well, thank you for coming. That introduction is very deep. I'm going to start from there. Let me ask a very simple question.
Okay.
How do you manage being an event planner, music minister, and then doing more than just one job and pursuing your career also in music? How do you manage all of that?
Okay, career in music, is ministry a career? We ask ourselves the question. Ministry, it's not really a career, right? But it can be like a career because you do it every day. It's like your thing. But then ministry is your thing, right? And then career, the events, is now you get. So I've been in the music ministry for God knows how long, maybe all my life, right? Growing up, I've been in it, and entered into the event industry from 2018, but I got my footing in it, I think this year, right? This year 2024. So having to have grown as a music minister, I know what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, right? You're under authority at some point, and at your place of work you're also under authority. So I try to put two of them together, right? So at the times when I know I should minister as a music minister, make out time for that, and as the time when I should work, right, make out time for work.
Okay, so let me ask, what type of music do you do? There's gospel, there's R&B, there's Afrobeat, there's there are a variety of music. What type of music do you do?
So with the introduction, you know that I do gospel music.
Oh, gospel music. Well, I want to be very sure because
I do gospel.
People are watching and want to be sure that they are getting the right information about whoever is sitting here with us.
So I do gospel music.
Okay, so let me also ask, why did you choose to do music? Amongst every other thing, not like just like you explained before, it can be administration and not a career. But I think that a career is something you choose to do every day and brings income and then brings food on your table. So how do you match that up with the answer you gave before? Okay,
so for your career, right, you practically have to charge, right? Per time, per hour, per, right? And for some persons, music can be a career, but it's more of a calling for me, right? So I think growing up, when those days, the parents would sit everybody down and ask, okay, what do you want to do in life? What do you want to study in life?
We all had that time. We all had that time. I wanted to be an engineer that year. Later, I wanted to be a pilot. Then later, I've always wanted to be a lot of things.
I would always sing that I wanted to do music. I wanted to study music. So I always wanted to study music, and I remember hearing the stories that I'll take these MIG teams those days, carry broomstick, and I was playing on them. So I loved music right from when I was a child, right from growing up. I've been in music.
That's
right?
That's good to know. Okay, let me ask a very very resonating question.
Okay.
All right. With the challenges that come with everyday music, event planning, and every other job that you do,
Yeah.
what do you do when you're stranded? I mean, generally in life, what do you do? What are like your first 1, 2 to go things to do? Let's say, okay, now there is a situation on ground and you're feeling overwhelmed and uncomfortable about it, and you think you cannot help yourself out of that situation. What is that one thing, or the first or second thing you have to do?
Okay. Well, 2 things or more. There was a time when the first thing I would do was to cry. Right? Yeah. The first thing I would do, my first resonance was to cry. I would cry. You say something harsh to me, very hard, I'll cry. I'm stranded or something, I'll cry. Right? But then it got to a point where what I now began doing was to sing whatever it was that was happening to me to God. Yeah. So I was stranded on making a decision, or stranded on getting things done. I just sing it to God, sing my pain, sing my anger, sing my fear, sing everything to God. And once I'm done with that, okay, call a mentor, call a friend. That's what I do next. And yeah, it's always sorted.
What is the most useless talent you have?
Can I? What's the most? I think I make use of everything actually.
Really?
I make use of. So I'm like the guy that is everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me use music as an instance. I play the keyboard. I play the bass guitar. I play the saxophone. I play the drums, and I sing. Right. So if most times we go for rehearsal and the bassist is not around, you find me on the bass. If the keyboard is not around, you find. So every of those talents are cultivated, they are used. I'm like, what's the useless talent I do? Maybe at the end of the show I'll think of something.
Okay, well, moving forward,
Yeah.
if you were to go back to 18 years backward to your younger self, what advice would you give yourself? Would you give your younger self?
Young man, patience. Yeah, that's what I'll tell him.
Patience. Okay, that means there are times you did things hastily.
Yeah, I did them out of emotions. Yeah.
As a teenager or as a youth.
Yeah, growing up. So I would have actually waited and listened more, right? Got to more counsel. You know, there was a time when I think a pastor came to the house and then he was talking to us and he looked at me and he said, "You need wisdom." And he said it in such a way that broke my heart. But then that was actually the truth.
Yeah,
Right. So I'll tell my 18-year-old self, guy, be patient.
But you know, sometimes the truth has to be said the hard way.
Yeah, it has
for it to be the truth. If the truth is actually pampered, it is no longer the truth.
Yeah.
It's more like you're blaspheming the originality or the genuinity of that truth.
Yeah.
Well, next question.
All right.
Let me ask you. Can you share a specific lesson you've learned from doing music?
Okay. One good lesson that I have learned out of the too many lessons that I've learned is the fact that there's just this thing about peace that you get from doing music, right? So like I said earlier, that I sing my fears, worries and pain to God. Every time I'm in that space of doing music, there's just this peace that, yes, I'm in my space. Right? Yeah.
Who inspires you musically?
There are two major persons that inspire me musically. So growing up was Pastor Donnie McClurkin, right? And then now is Minister Dunsin Oyenkon that ministers to me. He inspires me a lot, right? try to spend time listening to his songs, and more than listening to his songs, just soaking in that his I don't know the right word to use, but just soaking in that spirit, that grace that he carries, right?
What do you how do you deal with rejection during ministration, among your fellow music ministers, because of timing and all of that, honoring you and all of that? How do you deal with rejection basically in the music industry?
Okay, how do we deal with rejection here? So let's talk about timing.
Okay.
There's one thing about me, I don't. Let's say we go for administration and you're given 15 minutes to minister, right? I practically don't use up to 15 minutes. And then if you tell me, okay, you're supposed to minister, you're second person on the list, but we are moving you, I'm practically not moved. And there's something that happens to me most of the times that make me not even think about rejection or anything, is because if I'm informed you're going to minister somewhere, and I'm praying to God, okay, so what lineup of songs do I have to sing, right? For many times he has done that to me, that he doesn't tell me till 30 minutes to climbing stage to minister, right?
Does that not sound like not being prepared for what is ahead?
So the preparation, how I prepare, the first preparation I do for administration is the state of my heart.
Okay.
Yeah, the state of my heart for any ministration, even life in general. The state of my heart matters. I think there's a slang to use in Dominion City, right? The heart of the matter is the matter of the heart.
Yeah.
So the state of my heart is more important. Then we do prayers, and then we do fastings, and then okay, I'm listening to songs, right? To just brush up myself. Okay, I might pick the song, I might pick that song, but then I'm like, Father, you have a particular message to send to the people, and then you want to pass this message through certain songs. So what are the songs that you want to pass? And then it's like 30 minutes to when I'm going up to minister that, okay, the song just
comes in.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much so far for all the questions. For real, on the spot, like you said, you're killing it. Now, I want you to advise every other person who intends to, do music as a career, do music, as a ministration like you are currently doing.
Yeah.
And then advise them how you think they should be able to, what you think they should do in order to, meet up and not be discouraged, and also how to deal with the rejection.
Okay. All right. What I would say is doing music as a career and doing music as ministry pays. Right? It pays actually, because when I was young, what do you want to do? I wanted to study music. I would have done music as a career, right? And it pays you money in the bank. You're getting your cash. You're maybe ministering or you're performing somewhere. You're getting your money, and then as a minister, as a music minister. So what I would advise is stay on it, right? The one thing I never did was leaving music, even though they said you can't study music. But the one thing I never did was to leave. I never left music. I was always in that space. So stay in it, master your craft, master it, sing every day. I have a pastor friend who said he started singing to an empty congregation during service days, but now he is, my God. So stay on it, sing. Then your heart. If you are a minstrel, your heart is very important. Yeah, your consecration is very important.
Thank you very, very much for coming into the studio and dealing with all our questions.
Thank you.
Give me.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you very much, guys. You'll be seeing more of music ministers and different people coming in to talk reality, and then watch out for the next episode.
Yep.
Please, for a closing remark, I just want you to look at the camera and tell us your name and say this is Talk Reality.
Okay, my name is Walter Gabriel Dike. This is Talk Reality.
Thank you very
Thanks. Peace out.
much. Yeah.